Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are across the world. I'm joined here by singer sensation, songwriter, powerful, soulful vocalist of the smash hit Red Alert, Blu James.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm glad to have you here. I found out something recently, and I think I should just make sure I deal with that right now.
Okay.
I found out it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes, I'm 25.
I remember when I first turned 35.
I said 25. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Blu, how about we get into this? Describe for me a little bit the music scene or the club scene before your hit dropped. What was that like?
I was too young to be out there. I shouldn't have been out there. I was partying. I was like an MC, but a vocal MC. And I was partying in clubs, and I just got my girls in free as long as I had a bottle of champagne, a couple bottles of champagne. Me and about 10 other girls, we would get in the club looking beautiful.
No doubt.
And partying all night. That's what it was for us.
So it sounds like you had a crew of people that were supportive and loving.
Supporting us partying, yes.
Okay, I recently heard a remix of a song you did called Keep On Giving Love.
That's my favorite, one of my favorite ones. That is my favorite one because it's got an element. It's everything I do. I need some bass line. I have to have bass line. I like bass. I don't want to do it if it ain't got no bass. And it's got a Caribbean element in it, which is my roots. So that's my favorite one.
That's very interesting because I noticed how you sing in that song. Your voice sounds a little different than it did in some of the other songs that I've heard you sing. And it just goes to show your versatility. So I could imagine that's why a group like Basement Jaxx would approach you.
Well, maybe, I hope so. I think so. I was working at Disney. They used to call me bivocal.
Wow. So describe a little bit about that process of what was it like working on that song, Red Alert? What was that like?
It was a session that I did. So I had done a few sessions. In fact, I used to do sessions. At that time, I had an idea when I was younger. I had an idea that I would saturate the market with myself. So my idea was, it doesn't matter who I sing for. Everything I do, whatever I do, I'm just going to make it hot.
Thank God for that. That was a great idea.
So that's what I decided to do. So I sang for I just pay me 300 and I would go in there, I would write it. And I didn't write Basement Jaxx. I didn't write Red Alert. But that's what I would do. I would go in, I would write, I would sing it, pay me 300 and I'd be out.
So tell me a little bit about your writing process. Like, what do you draw from when you write? Do you draw from your experiences, or is it more strictly about a brief that's in front of you, or what?
Depends.
What's your inspiration?
I like to write about scenarios. I like to write about moments, or people. Somebody tells me a story, and then I will pick a story. I will write about their story or try to draw from their story, or like a moment, a significant moment in time to paint a picture about that moment. Or I've been told I write a lot about partying because I did a lot of that.
That sounds incredible. So there's this raspy, like smoky quality to your voice that
That's
I think.
not such a good thing.
I was just about to ask you that. Like, do you find that to be an advantage in the industry?
It was when I was younger. People would book me because they wanted that raspiness. But that raspiness comes from smoking, I think, and screaming in nightclubs a lot, and shouting in nightclubs because you have to hear yourself over the music, so then you get a bit raspy.
So tell me a little bit about After your smash hit, after you became who it is that you are in terms of your impact on the world and touring and things like that, tell me a little bit about how that changed your life, if any. What kind of impact did that have on you?
Well, I was very excited. I was very excited. I had no idea. As I said, Red Alert was a session that I did, and I had done lots of sessions. And when I left from doing Red Alert, I was like, what the hell did I just do? Because Felix just said, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I just did this and did that, did that. And I left. I got paid and I left. And next thing, I was walking out of the store, maybe about a year or so later, and I was walking out of a store in Oxford Street, and I was very embarrassed. I could hear myself. I was like, this is me. And yeah, I've always been quite shy to hear myself, because I'll pick myself to pieces. It's all right when I'm doing it live, and I love the live element of it. But like when I listen to my old songs, I'm impressed with my old self. Like, wow, that was me. Do you know what I mean? But when I actually do it at the time, I would like, oh no, I don't like that.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
way. Like, okay, so I've seen performances of yours at Glastonbury. I've seen a performance of
Okay, I
yours
picked at the time. Now I look at those and I was like, wow, that was me. I did a
It's
great job.
amazing.
But when I saw it back then, I was like, oh my God, I'm off key. I'm so embarrassed. And yeah, I was embarrassed.
The crowd didn't show that in the crowd. It was
Yeah,
screaming out laughter
I
and enjoyment.
didn't appreciate myself enough.
There's
Yeah.
also a certain buoyant energy that you carry when you're on stage. You have like this kind of like, I'm in charge, I took over the room type thing. Enjoy it.
I would say that's because I'm shy, and nobody really believes that I'm shy.
You're shy.
Yeah, yes.
What?
Nobody believes that I'm shy because people are like, how can you be shy? Because I dare myself to do stuff. That's probably why I come across like that, because I have to do. In fact, the show, the Glastonbury show, I had come off tour with Basement Jaxx, and I had a cell phone and roaming charges, right? And I was getting paid. That whole show from Basement Jaxx was going to pay my cell phone bill. So part of the way I said, I'm doing this shit, paying my cell phone bill. So that's why I went scared. I'm going to get this and pay this bill, yeah.
So talk about the recognition in like your neighborhood. You walk like your neighborhood.
Nobody knew it was me. People still today don't even know it's me.
How do you explain that?
I don't know.
There's no way. When I think the energy.
How did you know it was me?
Well, yeah, I guess I have to say.
You know, because I told you.
To a certain extent, yeah, but when I see you on stage, it's you. This person that I meet now has the same energy, when I hear your voice now, it has the same vibrance, the same power as before.
Yeah, but none of my school friends knew it was me. Nobody knew it was me personally, I didn't really get a lot of coverage on that.
That must amaze people out there to hear something like that, because the Brit Awards, Glastonbury, those are stages that people dream to.
Yeah, I didn't realize how exciting it was at the time. I really didn't, because everything happened so fast, so I didn't realize at the time. And I know it sounds lame and hippified. I never got into it for fame. And I never got into it. I never enjoyed the famous side of things, I have one of my parents is semi-famous, and I never enjoyed them being that famous. So I enjoy singing, I enjoy performing, but the actual side where the adoration part is a little overwhelming for me, as I'm like, that makes me shy.
That kind of amazes me, because if you don't mind me saying so, there's a time that you moved.
Yes, and when I moved there, I was slowing my life down.
That's interesting, because a lot of people, I can imagine, think that when you go to
like time to turn up.
I didn't tell anybody who I was. I got married and had children.
Oh
Wow, that's interesting. So what was that
And I've
like?
been singing reggae to soothe my soul.
Well, maybe that's what we should definitely touch on right now.
To soothe my soul.
Because it sounds like a transformation happened. It sounds like a party girl who like skyrocketed, came to a part where it's time now to kind of put the rocket in place and to look inwardly.
I actually started, before I did garage, I started singing reggae. I used to sing on, my first experience singing was soca. No, that's not true. My first experience singing was for a sound system named Java from here in London with a guy named Joe 90. He brought me and I did a special singing a song called that used to be on television called Prisoner Cell Block H. And I sang that song. He used to give me roses. I wish he could. I didn't sing it, but I did a dub of it on reggae.
Oh, that must have been awesome.
It was sweet.
Just that tidbit that you gave me right now makes me want to like hear more of what it is. So after that group, you mentioned soca. Did you ever really get involved with a soca band?
Oh yeah, I was in a soca band. That was the first band I was ever in. I was in a soca band and we performed I think on the same stage. I didn't perform with her with Singing Francine. She was on that stage. I think we did a show in King's Cross. I can't remember the name of the band. Top Edge maybe they were called. And I used to sing with an R&B band that used to go around American air bases when I was like 13 before I left school.
Oh, wow.
We used to go around American air bases and sing with this band, singing covers and stuff like that.
Okay, so there is a secret to the confidence. There's a bit of experience on stages at a young age, engaging with audiences.
When I realized I could get paid from singing, I was gone. What? Free money.
It's interesting that you should say free money, because what that means to me is what is coming out of you comes out of you naturally. And that's what it looked like on stage at the Brit Awards. It looked like they finally let someone be who it is that they are. And it comes across like that to an audience of all different types of people.
Yeah.
So describe for me a little bit what it's like singing reggae in America. What is that experience?
I sing with local bands. I've been singing with just local bands that was close to home because I was with my children and stuff like that. And it's just nice. I did some backing vocals for Glenn Washington, and I did not recording, but just a show. And God, what's that? Some other artists in Janice Landing in St. Petersburg.
Wow.
And I can't remember all the artists.
So it sounds like you've definitely been busy, been still singing, doing the thing that you love.
Yes, it's definitely love.
So how do you balance that with family life? What's that balance look like?
Oh, well, mostly I'm a single parent, and mostly I'm singing at nighttime. So I might finish work at like 3 in the morning,
Wow.
where I stay up and make sure dinner's cooked.
Wow.
And then wake them up for breakfast, take them to school,
Wow.
go to bed, sleep. And then by the time they come in the evening, I'm still there to do. It's actually pretty good for a singer, you know what I'm saying, or for a musician, because I was there and when I needed to. They go to school, they come back from school, I'm still there. I wouldn't leave to go to work until about 9 o'clock, till 8, 9 o'clock. I don't start work till 9, so I would be there, able to put them to bed.
Blu, the strength that it takes to do that and to maintain that and to see the results of that is just something incredible, and it's something that I applaud, because I know what it's like being raised by my mom and just her alone, and that had a very big impact on me before she met my stepfather. just seeing the sacrifices that she made in order to make me a happier person, make me a better person, and you know, provide things for me, and to see that is not a strange thing among women like my mom, like yourself, obviously, is encouraging to me. So now you're here in the UK again. What can your fans expect from you now? Is there anything on the horizon that they should be looking for? And what was the reception like coming back home?
Oh my gosh, the reception has been unbelievable. I did not realize that there was so much love here for me. Like, I really didn't realize. Kelly LaRock, who is an amazing underground singer here in UK who does not get enough flowers. When she heard I was back, I've been couch surfing, staying with all my friends. That's how I will get to see everybody while I'm here. And Kelly's one of the people I couch surfed at. And she was like, oh, come and do this thing with AG on the AG show. So we went to King's Cross. She brought me down there. And I did that, and I sang 3 of my songs. And I was so blown away because I didn't realize that, I knew people knew Red Alert, but I didn't realize they knew the other songs that I had actually, one of them that I had actually written and was close to my heart. And I sang it, and everybody in the crowd was singing it with me. And I was overwhelmed. I almost snotted all over myself. That's the truth. That's good.
Let me tell you something. One thing I've noticed about the universe, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not alone when I say this, is that what goes around comes around.
Hopefully.
If I'm just talking about just simply your approach to music, the fact that you made sacrifices, financial sacrifices, just to spam the air with that beautiful voice of yours, don't be surprised that you have many people coming around bringing you the praise that you deserve.
Yeah, well, it's you're given, I think that the creator gives you gifts, especially vocals and music. Creator gives you those gifts in order to share. It's not a financial thing. It's not money. It is money. You have to live, but the money comes. The money comes if you do the right thing, if you just give yourself. You might not be as much as you want, but it will be what you need.
I think
what they say, God gives you what you need.
I agree with that. I know that's true. I'm a witness of that.
Yes, I think so.
I think the excess comes when it comes. It comes when
if it's gonna come, it's gonna come. But you're gonna be. But I've been rich in performing and my heart, and I've been extremely rich in that. And like the people that I've met and the places I've been and the places I performed, and reggae was, I sang reggae with both my children in my stomach.
Oh,
right?
What?
So listen, I was singing with a band named Jafari, and the day I went into labor, I said to the band member, I was like, listen, I think I'm in labor. I don't think I can come to work today. And he's a Rasta. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, just come. He said, if you give birth, I'll take care of it. I was like, no, I'm not coming to work today, okay? But yeah.
So the word Tafari means head to be feared. So Jafari, I would imagine, means God is to be feared. And the impression that I'm getting from I can't call it a sabbatical because you raised a family during the time, but your journey to America was partially about a connection with things that are greater in life, things that are more meaningful, more powerful, and more pivotal in life.
There was a turning point for me was her name Barbara Windsor that was on EastEnders? Is it Barbara Windsor? Barbara Windsor did an interview, and she said, I have a really bad memory. I remember songs, and I don't remember much else. I had a really bad memory, but I remember this. She said that she'd had an amazing life. she'd met amazing people, she'd been to amazing countries, and she'd done amazing things. And the only thing she regrets is not having children. And I heard that and I stopped. And I was like, I'm gonna go live life. Because I didn't feel like my career was going the way I wanted it to go. So I said, I'm gonna go do life. And when I'm ready, I'll come back to this. So I'm back.
I'm happy to have you with me because there's something that I'd like to share with you about what I think of your singing and your performance. I don't think I've seen that type of electricity in a long time. I think there's something very powerful about you, and I think you have acknowledged that you have been given a gift and that you have done what is required of you in sharing that gift with the world. Everybody knows that song, Red Alert, in the UK. I know that, and I know that's a chart topper in other places as well. I know it's a chart topper in the United States. And I think the fact that you decided to stay low-key while going abroad is a testament to that what is important to you is the sharing of your voice and not fame. And that to me is moving, and I think that's inspiring, and that's something that I'm definitely a fan of.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you came
to
show and share that with us.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blu James.
Thank you.